Alright, everybody. Welcome back to the Pale Beyond. So we're playing this game again. But this time I'm gonna play as a Saltborn Admiral, I think. Or maybe Merchant. Not sure. Also, do tell me down below in the comments section if you want to see me play Lego Harry Potter on the channel. Because it's on sale. I'll probably play it on the channel anyways, but still comment down below. Alright, continue. But I did play a small bit a while ago. Three months ago. But, yeah, I will start back from here. We'll start on normal, with normal game balancing. And if we do well here, we're going to try hard mode as the Mudwash, Merchant, or Admiral, depending on what I pick here. Well, the air beast cold, a flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. But in the dark, they'll brace themselves for the horrors still ahead. Feels good to play this game again. Always loved the cold. Of glory found in forge and frost, so it'll be their tale to spread. A hunger draws the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does obsede? I'll do what must be done, indeed, out in the pale beyond. Begin your journey. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Rumble and all that stuff I always tell you guys to do. Let me just, okay, yeah, recording is actually working. Just need to check. Hey everybody, crew wanted for dangers of condition, months of darkness, low rages, slim chance of safe return, glory to be had, an event of success. I like it. It feels good to be back here again. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. Speaking of tea, I forgot to put my tea in here. It's perfectly adequate. You're another way you can make out a collection of military books, and the desk is a ship in a bottle. The metronome ticks away steadily. It's insufferable. Constant chime begins to wear your patience. Leave it alone. It stops. Keep waiting. Your footsteps climbing the chair that brought you here. Climbing the stairs that brought you here, not chair. Take a seat. The seat is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. The door behind you swings open. Captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? Open mouth. You bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. Captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose to. It's the little things you can lose people to. You're late. You best get used to waiting in this line of work. Some people have died in your supervision. Why do I find this one funny? None. I mean, you're the perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. Which is it? The latter. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? I'll have to be. So you already made yourself comfortable. English. I always love the drawing in this game. Because it actually feels hand-drawn. Sometimes you got those hand-drawn things, but it doesn't really look hand-drawn. But this all looks hand-drawn, except for this right here. This ship in a bottle does not look hand-drawn. Everything else does, though, and it's just perfect. I'm Captain Hunt. The pleasure's mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. So what's the job, then? I have a few questions first. Looks down the list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Where would we be? Saltborn. The ocean, same as yourself. The ocean, same as yourself. I'm a salt-born and bred. Military experience. Alright. Royal Admiralty or sailed the merchant lines 12 years. I have coin here, and I'm gonna flip it. Heads is merchant, tails is colonel. Tails. We're colonel. I know, I'll just do best 2 out of 3. That hit something and they got knocked over, so now I don't know what it is. You know, I forgot which one's which. Let me just do this again. Okay, heads is colonel, tails is merchant. Heads. Tails. Tails. Okay, merchant it is. Because I forgot which is which. I rolled, like, heads again. I think it was originally this is heads, but we're merchant. Still the merchant line. It's 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? I knew better than to ask. Aye. Have you fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? Directly or otherwise? I always love, I do not appreciate this line of questioning, but I'll just say yes. Yes. I see. You're not married, are you? Of course not. You better not have a death wish. Once believe the return to justify leaving in the first place. Any lesson you're doing yourself a disservice. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Did not deter you, did it? It's to be expected, surely. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at our weeding out the weak and pretended. Let him continue. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No, enlighten me. Clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They're trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Did they? Did they what? Did they complete their research? Oh, yes, I have no idea. She never came back. The last known location was 200 miles south of the land presumed lost to ice. And we're supposed to be chasing this ship? Exactly. 5 years is a bit late for rescue operation. They're probably all dead. Alive or not, the research is supposedly of extreme importance. You know, I'm gonna get something to drink if I'm gonna be talking this much. Alright, I'm back. One good thing about not being able to see the recording software is there's no annoying recording software on the bottom right. Bad thing is I don't know how long the video's been. I'll just do like the first basic stuff and then we'll see. I might cut the video in two, who knows. Alright, you have my attention. The captain smiles. Here's what we know. No one person or thing has heard from the Viscount since the first left port. Until now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on the ship. Alright. Where are they now? Dead. The testimony seems to outlive them. Those with more money than sense want the old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, someone else will. And, well, much as the character's gotten me this far. And who's financing all this? The usual, film and literature, rights have been sold, of course. We're in the process of signing off on a final benefactor for the expedition. They've even donated a ship. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood, generational. No money like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance, they're sister ships, built together, set out into the world to die alone. Poetic, I guess. Indeed, I like to think that one calls out for the other. Captain looks at the bottle of the ship. So what do you think? That's not much to go on. No, it isn't. Captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. Captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Do you need any more information? Not if I'm a captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professionals. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. But alas, I'll see you on the Temperance. I've got a good feeling about you, Shawl. Thank you, Captain. Captain makes his way to the door and you follow. You arrive at the docks, a month to the day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side read Temperance. Approach the Temperance. You walk the cobbled path of the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Let's talk to him. He turns with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. Saltborn. He's quick to inspect you for ink. Another sailor for the fold, mid-deck of the others. Dress me properly, I'm the first mate of the ship. So you're Officer Shaw. I'm Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as Chief Scientist Officer of this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do I ever consider myself and my team at Captain's disposal? I'm fairly certain we're all disposable. He straightens himself. No doubt I do not need to inform you your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. I must warn you have quite the task ahead. Rabbi spent this afternoon sorting of the same, then you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule. A strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. If you'd expect to be an organized sort, you would not have assigned the role otherwise. You speak like you're in charge. I speak from a source of knowledge. Do not mistake it for a source of arrogance, Officer Shaw. Bold when you're ready. And when you find yourself needing a scientist, we can try this again. We've gone for quite a while. It'll be still some time before you see the city again. The young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hastily, he begins to drag his feet up on the ramp into the ship. Also, if you're thinking about playing this game and you've never watched it before, you've never seen me even before, and it's on sale or something like that, I recommend just buying it and playing it. As the game's really good when you don't know where you're going into. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, bearing some modern additions. Alright, set sail. Week 1. 1 week on the Temperance. Feels good to be back playing this game again. Might replay a Hat in Time too, who knows. Depends. Tell me in the comments section you want to see me do that. I'll 100% it again too. Man, that's a good game. Love it. I'll probably be doing my review of games, my favorite games, top 5 favorite games this December, or November, or October, sometime around then. It's been a month. First Mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, 1 week since we set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere, before they turn colder. Who's paying for this? I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for this. Certainly not the captain. The crew, however, are a different story. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be the last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew. The scouting team, Hunt is also keen to work on a deal with a pack of sledding dogs. Let's see, 22. 4 members of the crew. Hunt is keen to... How many people are on here again? I don't remember. I could have sworn it was like 40 or something. I must be wrong. I've sailed with worse. We came across all sort of trading with merchants, but rarely this split. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at helm. We'll head there now. He leaves. Alright, Crow's Nest. The Crow's Nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at next port. Captain's cabin is shut tight. The captain himself is busy at the helm. Makes sense. The forecastle door appears to be locked. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the captain. Find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin, lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. Winks. Let him continue. Thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Merchant. Did you ever take the helm of the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you try? Take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Now use this to pan around. Remember your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Man, this game's just amazing. Like, the whole art of this game, it just looks amazing. Easy. There, you have it. Captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. I'll try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Use this to zoom. Peaceful, isn't it? Personally, I prefer to be much closer to this ship. I do like this whole far-out view, but the ship itself is just nice. I also love this, smoke coming out of the engine room. How it's drawn, how it moves. As compared to this, and also I noticed this and this are different. This moves normally. This moves with some lag. Strange. Everything moves different. I also love the look of the boat going around the waves. Peaceful, isn't it? Heading and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink in the morning a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Alright. Captain's cabin. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had in the ice. Classical painting describing sailors during a battle with a kraken. An ode to an old folk story of great Captain Samus dance with the Salt Kings. On the desk you make out various papers, notes, and maps. Merchants. As well as a still letter of a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is supported with ropes to keep it safely in place. Now that's actually important, the Apperton Tinning Company. It appears a lot. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls assigned to this expedition, including ourselves. There's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. Being able to deploy crew who are discovered, they must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. They're picking up the scouting crew at next port. A lot of us seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart to the end of the week with no decorum left. We have enough provision to last us 6 months in case of emergencies. And that's probably it's not enough. If you can't afford the minimum food the rations eat today, crew will become malnourished. Less secure the malnourishment quickly develops into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. And more than enough fuel to see us there back again. Cold temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of the week. If you cannot afford the minimum fuel, crew will become freezing, which is a lot better for people to become freezing than it is for them to become scurvy or malnourished. As malnourishment you can only get rid of by spending more food or tinned lemons, which are a rarity here, and are honestly not worth the time to get versus anything else you can grab. There is a crate of spices, which every time you put food in, the first time you put food in each week, you cure one malnourishment, but it's way easier to cure freezing. The both frostbite and scurvy cannot be cured by anything besides the doctor himself. This cure, the freezing will discover into frostbite, severe effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiations. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out farther requires a greater amount of dogs. The rest will become available in the weeks. Now, go to work. Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here has provided us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement is that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dog to the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending this pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. Lady Cordell? A moniker given to me by the locals of the city, on account of her vernacular. I find it odd you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, Shaw. She demands me that we allow her to come along with the expeditions, as a member of the crew. None of the ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I promise. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them, if they have any chance of survival. Humans aboard too, of course. Of course. You see my dilemma, Shaw. Bringing on another member of the crew is risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see any harm of having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. The deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management of ruling dogs? Your sleds are useless if you cannot control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. I'd like to ensure my dogs are properly treated. Alright, welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I have room prepared for you below deck. No need to find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. Hope you're not making a mistake, Shaw. I never make a mistake, alright? I'm a genius. Alright, Corbett. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring him in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I had. Captain studies them farther. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Oh dear, you're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I can pull me weight, sir. Do you know your whatever from bowsprit? I don't know that either. I do, I learned it all from your da. Your da? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Shaw. Unsize. Your first mate. What should we do with him? Let's throw him overboard. I'll keep him aboard. Hunt squints. Why? Because I wanted to. Alright. You'll need all the help we can get. This young man wants to help. I say we let him. Alright, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. A stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, seems the leader has a new runt. Hope the rest don't mind sharing the rations. What of the father? It's simple, split the pay and the rations. The rations the boy should take come from his. What of the father? Should he be punished for letting this happen? Another month to feed on the ice is the difference between life and death. Let him be. I doubt he wanted his son here. Suppose you're right. Maybe we'll make a seller out of him by the end of this. Well, that matter's sorted. Finish requests. Well, let's settle that one more round for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck for dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You couldn't mistake them for another. An urgent matter? Not at all. Nothing you should concern yourself with. They'll be down in the middle of the deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get yourself more acquainted with the crew. Alright, I'm gonna go talk to Kasha Bell, who I'm pretty sure was my last first mate when I won. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belfold. Balanced on the ship's mast of her camera, lining up a photo. Wait for her to finish. Sniping a shot, she climbs down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw. About time I met the first officer of the ship. Kasha. Kasha Belfold. You seem to already know my name. How so? I do my research. I suppose there's some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Dearest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you can just not pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belfold won the something prize. I can't read that word. The highest honor in journalism. Journalism. Sometimes I can't speak English. Words that end in R or begin of W mess up how I can speak, and it just does not work. I just can't speak correctly. For her work, covering plagues, outbreaks, and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There's scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time at sea like this. Her accomplishments surely outweigh her youth. Inexperience is a matter of interest, but her accomplishments speak for themselves. The Cold Game. Pictures that as a headline. What? The Peasant's Voyage. I'm trying to come up with a simple name. No, snappy name. No one reading the title sounds like a work of an amateur. I'm not the creative type. I'm sure you'd know better. Kasha tilts her head and grits her teeth, holding the inner debate within herself. Maybe not. How about Hunt's Incredible Voyage? Too fantastical, I suppose. I'll find the right name when the time comes. Getting ahead of myself, aren't I? I'm just a little excited. Never been on a voyage like this. Merchant. Suppose in your experience, the open ocean is a home of mundane. I suppose you never traveled this far south in the merchant lines. You have that right. It's a shame, looking out in the open ocean. I don't know how anyone could find this doll. It's no wonder great explorers like Kurt Darling would always come back to it. That reminds me, he'll be joining us in the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. How long did it take to develop? Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, Shanzu something anointed documents? I think that's what it says. Here it is, the crew manifest. Which this is my favorite part, because I like these little drawings here. Because these look nothing like the actual... They look similar to the actual characters, but they're not exactly perfect. But they kind of look like drawings that someone did with like a pencil. Yeah, we know no engineers, no scouts. We know Kasha Belfold. We have ourselves here, Robin Shaw, of course. Just, of course, the face doesn't exist because we've never seen it. Richard Templeton, who I just call Templeton, and Rufus Hunt, who I just call Hunt. And I just call Kasha Belfold Kasha Bell sometimes. We have research cards and key items, which we have an accordion, which I'm not sure why we have it. Grimley's accordion, a weather instrument, tune of care, and Kasha's camera. It's integral to the report of the crew manifest. Not sure why we have her camera. It's work in progress. The scout team will join us in the next port, and the captain forbids me from the boiler room. If you could have the others get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you of your work any farther, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. Leave her to her work. 2 Johns. You spot a large man with a youthful glint. I think that's what it says. Carrying a heavy crate of a soldier with relative ease. Well, he's probably 7 feet tall. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warm smile. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get the nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer a handshake but loses control of the crate. He struggles before formally holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. Yeah, so 2 Johns. Funny thing is, his first name's John, and his last name is John. So people call him 2 Johns. That's hilarious. Can we finally go in the forecastle? No, it's locked. You hear the Cuttermaster preparing the room inside. Then we're around here again. Good times. Nothing really important happens in this deck, but yeah, this is where all the stuff happens. Always love the sounds of an accordion. Let's talk to Junior. You find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful. You almost got drenched in broth. You're the ship's cook, are you not? Indeed I am. And you've got a full plate on my hands. Pardon the pun. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. Oi, what's holding you up? The cook shakes his head with a warm smile, chuckling slightly to himself. He grabs a large pot, preparing to make his way to a hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, could you carry the tray of biscuits behind me? Carry the tray. I'm a very nice person in real life. Totally. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door and take it to the table. The crew are waiting with bated breaths. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer. The ship's cook places the broth upon the table. Trust me, fellas, this one's worth the wait. Cook speaks with a tone of pride as he lays the broth into bowls of the crew. Oi, one at a time, you animals. War, you're awfully handy for someone with only one arm. Ah, piss off, Junior. Got some bread here too. Grab it fast before Tucker beats you to it. The crew laughs and are merry as Junior guides you back to the kitchen. We weren't properly introduced. Up in Shaw, right? By keeping track of all the new crew. You're Storks, but nobody calls me that. You haven't called me Junior. You could do the same. No idea why Hunt picked someone he never worked with as first mate. But you seem helpful, Short. Glad to have you aboard. Have you been traveling with Hunt long? Your brother and I are among Hunt's most something crew? I was gonna say trusted. It doesn't look like it's trusted though. So often he'll hire outsiders, but I suppose the job is too big for the usual suspects. Why Junior though? Simple nickname, the older brothers in the crew, hence Junior. Not very interesting, I know, but it's what it is. Well, Hunt wished to see you as soon as possible. Oh yes, good old Hunt. Never rest in this ship, let me tell ya. Especially when Hunt takes a liking to ya. Alright. Call the crew for dinner. Honestly, again, I always had to say this, I love the art style of the game. Like, look at all the characters, look how they're drawn. Look, you can see Kasha's talking to this guy, who I don't remember the name of. There's the two engineers, there's Tucker himself, he's drunk. He's always drunk, isn't he? There's the shady sailor who barely appears. There's Gnomes. There's Lefty. There's the Runt. And there's Runt's Da, also known as Ward. It passes relative silence. Yeah. It's evening. Always love the night. The crew returns to their posts, the hammocks are unfurled in preparation for this evening. Twilight falls. Let me count, how many beds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doesn't seem like enough. The dinner table. Over dinner you overhear the two newly... No, not the two newly, it's just the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. But Da, you're lucky Hunt didn't throw you overboard. I've a mind to do it myself. Come on, Da. I'm here to help. But I know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. His name is Timmy. I just call him Runt, though. Timmy's too hard to remember. Not really, I just don't really care enough to name all the crew by their names, and honestly, I prefer to say their nicknames most of the time. A few of them I actually do say their names, but I do prefer using their nicknames. Mr. Gloss. You spot one of Templeton's scientist team is pacing around mid-deck, searching through some luggage and pulled from a cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was I now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Twilight Glossy. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while sitting in the cabin. Bottle of wine, actually. You best not be drinking on the job. Oh, of course not, sir. Have to keep such a sharp at work. Wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. Be safe for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Alright, and then we have this cabin here, which is our cabin with our journal. Funny that we get a bigger room than, like, literally anyone else. Not that it's bigger, but one bed for me, a chair, some books, all this. It's lovely. Alright, we're supposed to ascend the deck, but actually, can I go to the boiler room yet? No. We can't make my favorite character of the series. As just like me, he loves sarcastic humor, and all sorts of humor. He's a very funny guy. As you look over the rails out into the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth, and a sheet of paper in his hand, overlooking the stirring waters. Looking at something. Not many sailors can read or write. What's the letter? A letter. That's all you need to know. Tasha. After introducing himself, Tasha falls silent and begins to read the letter. Trying to draw a conversation with him seems to be similar to extracting teeth. That is quite painful. I've extracted my own teeth. One of them is loose, you know how to pull out. Quite painful. You smell Templeton looking at the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Although I guess if you're pulling out someone's teeth, they're probably not going to be loose. So that's probably going to be even harder. I mean, then again, I didn't have a pair of pliers. I'm most assuming if you're going to be extracting someone's teeth, you'd have a pair of pliers. Or something of the sort. I've never used a pair of pliers. Ah, Officer Shaw. It'll be some time before we see the sunset again. The light distribution towards the South Pole is quite a change. I noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. Ah, here we go. I fear we started off on the wrong foot. Misunderstanding. Let's place it behind us opposite. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There's a great exception upon us, officer. From who? Who is this benefactor of ours? That's not for you to know. Not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the open surfaces. Open surface? Why did I say surfaces? It's just surface. Looks back at the sunset. Quite the sight, but I wouldn't linger upon it long. We should retire for the evening. It's important for the first officer to be well rested. Hold E to advance the next week. There we go. No. 2 per crew is quite painful here, but we can adjust them. Which every now and then this works perfectly fine, and most of the time it doesn't. We're just gonna do half and half. Here. Half rations and half fuel. We'll lose 20 decorum, but it's not needed right now, as we do need to save up a bit of fuel and food. Cordell's sledding dogs are packed up, the scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up, the days are getting brighter as you move farther south. So right now I think we're north of the equator, so as we move south, it's getting, because it's during winter, so as we're moving south, the days are getting longer. The daytime itself, as you see here. Versus if you go north right now, the day will get shorter, but the nights will be longer. I've always loved the winter. The cold nights, my favorite. And because it's night and warm, I don't really like bright lights. Alright, save game added to the tree. There's a tap on your door. Come in. The door swings open to reveal Kurt Darling, all but fitting its frame. Grinning ear to ear, yeah, he's almost as big as the door itself. There you are, Officer Shaw. The ship's navigator is a difficult man to miss. Stature and reputation preceding him. Adorned with a strew of items. A seemingly one-man expedition would be known to almost anyone following the heyday of the expedition and the merchandise that follow. I know little of the man. His reputation is indeed great, but the man behind the legend is a bit stranger. Hiding away from the rest of us, are you? Are you always this early to rise? These days, I intend to enjoy a good lion, but not during an expedition. You know what to say of early birds and worms. That's right, the early worm does not get eaten by a bird. No, wait, it's the early bird gets the worm. Apologies for not stopping by sooner, Shaw. It took a while to set up my team, and a great deal of crew was quite eager to meet me. It's not often they work with a film star. Is it? Certainly. It's completely understandable on their part. There aren't many who've seen my films. Particularly in this line of work. More than one fellow on his crew said my work inspired them to explore the world. Quite the honor, is it not? I'm certain you receive that praise often. Not as often as you'd think. I suppose I did get distracted, didn't I? Anyways, I was hoping you'd join me up on the deck. Does Hunt require my presence? No. We found the engine to pack. Thought you wanted to see for yourself. Right behind you, Kurt. Kurt turns to walk away before turning back. I would enjoy your morning. It's a good day, Shaw. Hard. He leaves. Alright. to leave ourselves. And let's talk to Mrs. Gloss. You notice one of the science teams returning to their rooms. Ah, Mrs. Gloss. Did you have a good rest? Did you have a good rest? Sometimes I can't read. She nods to you. Ah, hello. Did not expect many to be up this early. Harriet Glossy. Let's call you Harriet. I believe I met your husband. Ah, yes, Starlight made... Dwight made mention of your encounter. He's still fast asleep. He's adjusted to the ship well. I believe a walk around the ship would help accumulate myself to the waves. Perhaps it'll take some more time. With that, Mrs. Gloss makes her way back to the cabin. The science team aren't used to the sea, or the sailor folk. Quite the culture class, isn't it? Well, I'm sure they'll grow used to it over time. I don't think they do. Alright, let's knock on Arthur's door. The door to the doctor's office remains locked, and the good doctor isn't in, or perhaps enjoying his sleep. You had to come across the ship's doctor, even after all this time. The door to the doctor's office remains locked. I'd let the lad rest. Again. Alright, yeah, and then here's the crew sleeping. Made the crew still fast asleep lying in hammocks. Best not disturb them, Shaw. You don't want to find yourself dealing with an abruptly woken sailor. Let's head up deck. Some of the snoring sailors are rather obnoxious. Alright, well first let's talk to Lefty. He's over here. He's called Lefty because his right eye is missing. At the stern you notice an older sailor at the helm. The old man takes a deep breath of cold air before letting out a satisfied exhale. Morning. And good morning to you. He eyes you up. Officer Shaw, right? Lefty. Call me on the count of, well, it should be obvious. He chuckles. Don't worry about the bad sight. This is all to feel. Just keeping her steady. He examines you. Surprised Hunt picked from the outside for his first date. Surprised as well, he seems the insular type. He is. It must be something special for Hunt to look inside the ranks. You've got the experience at least. Merchant Navy is quieter though. Mornings like these are the only place I get for the younger lot. You should take these moments when you can. Lefty returns to his attention to the helm. As you get older, I suppose you learn to value the quieter moments, eh? Let's hope we're just as twilight and we're old and grey. I mean, you already have quite a bit of grey hair, my friend. Myself before you, of course. But, of course. But just look at this. Like, the ice actually looks nice. I actually like it. Like, just look around. It's beautiful. As we scroll out, you can see large packs of ice. Is it actually getting closer to here, or is it not? Can't tell. I think the ship's staying in the same spot. No, the ice is moving towards us. I don't think the ship doesn't move, the ice does. That's how these sort of things work, I'm pretty sure. But just look at it. Ice to the left of us, ice to the right of us. We've gotten ourselves in we're stuck, sort of. It is quite beautiful, though. I also like how the water looks here. Alright, let's talk to Kurt. Also, just look at this background over here. It looks nice. You join Kurt at the bow of the ship. You both feel the temperance break that flows below you. Gripping the rails, he draws an enormous breath. The flooring beneath rises as the ship mounts an impending ice flow. There's a moment's hesitation before a profound crack relieves the ship, cascading across the ice. He exhales. See? Nothing else like it. You went wrong. It's something, alright. Look at the ice. No two cracks are the same. All caused by us. And the laws of nature, this place once was dead, and yet, here we are. Traversing in harmony. How fantastic is that? How far are we from land? About a week's sail from the last known location of the old Viscount. Assuming she isn't exactly where we left her, we can't take this smooth sailing for granted. Same goes for the daylight. We'll remain this bright for so long, once the winter encroaches. As beautiful as the ice gets, of course, it's going to get thicker. Looks out across the white. Don't be so confident when the leads dry up and we're stuck till the next cycle. We need to change course. Avoid the pack. Have you informed Captain Hunt? He won't listen to me. Thinks I've been dulled by retirement. I've probably seen more ice than he has whiskey. We have enough supplies if it comes to that. It's not the supplies to worry about, it's the situation. People will turn on each other before they let themselves starve. It's true, people will turn on each other before they starve. Many people doing well turn on each other. If you experience a long night's winter, it's not pleasant to say the least. If it comes to that, we'll try to adapt. Huh. I can see why he hired you. You should understand, Robin. We're only as good as the unhappiest man. Cheer up then. Kurt smiles. I'll do what I can. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Kurt nods and turns back to look across the ice. Alright. Captain's cabin. Check requests. Ah, sure. Ready for another day's work. Did you hear Kurt's advice? He wants us to switch courses. I had a few words to share. Nah, it's Kurt's voice. He may be an expert in his time, but these days, Kurt is one of more money than sense. Anyways, back to work. I was hoping you'd help me through a few more requests from the crew. You may notice the line pulling up outside. Everyone wants something, it seems. Call them in as you please. Hammond. A short, sour-faced man, engineering clothing appears. Are you acting daft, Hunt? Not of intention. Not bloody surprised you didn't notice. Shaw is our chief engineer. That's not his voice again. I'm just gonna keep trying to do Kurt Darling's voice. Shaw, this is our engineer, Clive Hammond. Appointed one. What is it, Hammond? We've hit ice and you haven't assigned any extra man down in the boiler. You have your engineering team. We've only got 6 items between us. I need more manpower maintaining this. Sailors. Many of the crew already have their tasks their own they're busy with. I know I've already assigned Smurf on a matter. Captain turns to you. How many do you think's fair? 1, 3, more. Open the crew manifest and choose how many sailors you wish to assign. Assign crew. Now, we can unfortunately not assign all the sailors we need here, I don't think. We have Tasha, we have 2 Johns, we have Joe, and we have Corbett. Confirm your orders. You're getting Tasha, 2 Johns, Corbett, and Joe. Take the men you need, Hammond. Aye, thank you. We'll keep the boiler alive to the ice. He leaves. A good spirit, that one. Beneath the oil and temper. You'll be seeing much of him, though. First to burrow himself into the boiler room. Let's talk to Corbett. Corbett enters the office. Hunt? He asked for a report on how the stowaway was doing. I wanted to see if the boy has been settled in well. Yes, indeed. I mean, it's another mouth to feed, but the boy works as hard, and he doesn't ask much. Has his dad to guide him as well. I'm sure the boy's father's ecstatic. Worried sick, but happy, aye. Well, what do you know, Shaw? See, because we get the 20 decorum back here, so what we want to do is we want to do half and half, as there's literally no negatives here, as you'll gain 20 decorum here. What do you know, Shaw? Perhaps you're right to keep the boy aboard. That's what you should do to save 25 of each of these. Caution. Captain Shaw, a thought occurred to me the other day when I was looking through the crew manifest, and, well, it might be too late for this now. I already entered the ice. Out of it. I thought it'd be good to have individual photos of the full crew. For your report? Not only for my report, it'd be good reference for the manifest. Put faces to names. Made the crew serving for years, some decades. I have little problem putting faces to names. You thought, Shaw? It's a bit late, but it's an hour never means I'll get over with. Nah, it seems like a good idea. Nothing else to make good for a souvenir. Sentimental of this expedition, are you? Perhaps some proper photography will have some historical weight to it. Well, Belfold, I see no problem there. I'll arrange for the pictures to be taken before the crew have the dinner. Thank you, Captain Shaw. In the meantime, I'll attempt to get as many individual crew photos as I can. You're still welcome to help with that matter, Officer Shaw. She departs, satisfied. Finish request. So actually, you can apparently, assign 4 able-bodied crew members as the Runt, Runt's-da, and Lefty. Lefty has 1 eye. Runt's-da is missing an arm, and the Runt himself isn't quite as able as everybody else. You can apply 4 people who are able to there, and he won't complain at all. But if you apply Runt's-da, because he has 1 arm, he says Ward, bloody one-armed Ward, or lefty. His bones are so old. Something like that. But if you apply Corvid, Joe, Tasha, 2 Jones, everything's fine. Good. To have it all settled then. Perhaps you shouldn't rule out old Kirk so easily. The man thinks there could be an alternate path for the ice. He's free to search for it. Shaw, meet with him when you have time. Changing course or not, we'll want his scouts up in the crow nest. Take care of that, and you'll be done for the day. Ah. He's seasick. You spot a youthful-looking man leaning over the side of this ship. His head slumped over to what looks like the ice floe below. Appears he's been visited by a spot of seasickness. What is seasickness? I know it's like you get sick from like the rocking of the waves, but how? Pat him on the back. You make your way to reach out to the man. English. I cannot speak, as I just read like 5 different words, even in the same order. Make your way to the man and reach out your arm, pat the sickly fellow on the back. As soon as your hand reaches him, he jolts upright in shock. A bespectacled young man, shaking of unease. He stares at you for a brief moment. Look of shame plastered upon his face. Sorry. Haven't seen you around here. Who are you? I'm very sorry. Arthur turns around hastily and runs in the opposite direction, avoiding your gaze. He's very nervous. Send me up there, I'll get you a reading. The scientist eyes the man's cane and turns to you. I believe the navigator means to send one of his scouts. The navigator clears his throat and he taps his cane. Of course, ahem. If you find one of mine, they'll get us reading right. Alright, now. Here, while examining the rigging of the ship, your eyes notice a figure darting by, climbing on the ropes with ease. The figure lands on their feet before dusting themselves off. The outfit denotes one of Kurt's scouting crew. Ah, no problem. She looks to you. And you are? Officer Shaw, yourself? Flick. I'm one of Kurt's crew. Don't worry about my safety, I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Kurt doesn't just hire anyone. Well, he didn't hire me for no reason. Got medals in gymnastics. Gymnastics, if you're worried about my credentials. Flick jumps up and returns to scanning the rigging of the ship. Mostly just playing this game because I want to, not because it'll make a good video, I just wanna. Alright, she ascends to the nest and takes a reading with the sextant. All clear from up top, which, that instrument is like, I'm pretty sure it's a telescope mixed with a ruler that you can, figure out the distance of things with, which, yeah. There's these down here, which I never use, because I was afraid of losing research. This is the Vice-Can Island. Honestly, this place seems so small. Last port you made where you picked up Kurt and the scouting team from. Yeah, and as you see here, sailing dead towards Hero lead us into a patch of ice. Sailing around in either direction will lead us to the same fate. Most likely. This is what I see. I'm not a sailor. I know absolutely nothing about any of this. Listen, you overhear 2 of the newly arrived scouting crew talking. Ah, Quinsley. Having any trouble setting in? Not too bad. Can't wait for our chance to sleep, though. Proper navigator never rests until our work's done. Of course. I take it you had no trouble setting in? Not at all. The crew are a funny lot. Old Kurt's certainly caught their attention. Do you think one of them would mistake Kurt and myself? I think you could collapse from joy if they did. Perhaps. Yeah, we got Yorick Moore added and Quinn, which I can't say his first name, because I just can't, because I don't know how to say it. I still can't go on the boiler. Alright, so there's a pantry here. The moment you enter a pantry, a bag of flour drops on your head, scattering all over your officer's uniform. Heh. Hell with that. Gnomes! You wipe the flour off you before continuing. Lift a crate of tins from the shelves. Always do this first. Yeah, unfortunately we don't get to talk to gnomes there, but oh well. I completely forgot that it happened. One step ahead of me. If you add those tins to the hoosh, you'll be good for dinner. What'll be this week, Hosh? Hosh. Can't speak English. Already said this though. Yeah, see this leads us to 95, which is perfect. Normally we would not be at this much. Approach the accordionist. He spots you and ceases his playing. Need something? You would never know that this is why. Your brother did not send me to speak of you. You're Grimly, aren't you? The man grunts. Aye. Grimly Stoke. And the ship's carpenter. And then your Junior's brother. Junior? Oh, you're Shaw. Junior mentioned you. I was just speaking to him, too. I'm sure he talked your ear off. Won't keep you from your work. Don't keep me from my break. I won't. Yeah, well, we already went in here and Gnome's knocked over a bag of flour on us. Also, I love how we have potatoes in here, bread, flour, bottles of stuff. But no, all we can eat is the tinned fruit. These canned peaches that are just lining the walls. That does happen every once in a while. If you click somewhere and right-click somewhere and you try to like move, sometimes it'll just send you that direction instead. A little annoying. The crew have their meal. Alright, shall we toast to the ice? Aye. The days get longer, but... the days get longer, but dinner's fixed. It will see us through the long days and the darkest nights. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice there's still bright light outside. Aye. We notice two sailors passing by the dinner table. A drunken sailor on wobbling legs, leaning on the shoulder of another. Ah, good times, good times. You need to learn how to handle your drinks, Tucker. Oh, but fine. Mates can carry me, eh, Cavity? They can also drop you. Have two Jones carry you next time. Are you asleep? Shite. I still don't find that hilarious every time that Tucker's just drunk. He's not always drunk. But he's drunk. Knock on the door. No response. We gotta knock on this door many times. The first time I did it, I just did it because it was funny. Knock on the door. Still no response. Hear sounds of rustling inside. They're knocking on the door several times, finally swings open to reveal my Templeton scientist team. Annoyed scientist. Yes. Do you require my presence? Apologies, just checking. Just checking? You should know the meteorologist of this expedition. Andrew Isaac. If I'm not requested for anything, I would ask not be disturbed any farther. Which the reason he didn't answer the door is because he just thought it was another crew member trying to bother him, or something like that. You overhear two engineers chatting above deck. Or rather, you overhear one engineer speaking to another. Don't know how the chief could stay down there all evening. You ever see Mr. Hammond eat? You haven't? If he doesn't even eat. Mine's not human if he can work all day, all night in that boiler. Probably doesn't sleep either. He probably sleeps. Aye, it's figurative. Right. So Richard Flogs and Gareth Forsettler. Odd names, indeed. So Ricky and Grips. So this is Landborn, engineer. This is a Muttwash engineer. I'll just call you Gareth, and I'll call you Ricky. You know, you have Mr. Zack, we have Mr. Gloss and Mrs. Gloss. We have York III, with Quinsley, Flick, who's currently assigned to a matter. Everyone but you, you're seasick, which is the same look as, Scurvy. Tosh, two Johns, the Runt. Still have not met one member of the crew, I don't remember who are missing here. Lefty, oh, I actually think I remember who we're missing now. Runsta, Cavity, Tucker. All the good, fine folks here. But anyways, time to properly meet you. Ingrid Cordell. The dogs regard her with attention as she places between them bowls and hands. The largest joins her side as you approach. Try some. Try the soup. It burns your mouth in the hot broth. Surprisingly tasty. Surprisingly palatable. You feel yourself warming up. You seem to enjoy it. I'm afraid there's only so much. If you want more, it'll be of the dog's leftovers. Penguin, some blubber, fats and proteins. Fastest way to hydrate them. Was there something you needed? Just inspecting the animals. They belong here more than we do. Unlike us, they need the ice. It cools them to their paws as they run. They'd overheat otherwise. Strong creatures. Very. Handle stress differently, adapt quickly, there's plenty to be learned from them. You've been on the ice for a long time? A long time, yes. As you were. Pet the dog. Ruffle its head. It tries to lick the broth from your fingers. Well, that's that. Continue on to next week. I almost still wait, because the one thing that throws off the whole game for me is the, mouse. Sort of wish it was different. Anyways, we're gonna do half again. I'm fine with losing 20 decorum. As, to be honest, we're gonna get pretty low in decorum. This 20 doesn't really matter. It's easy to get back up. Although we will be losing, I think, another 10. At least nobody will be demoralized for a while. As long as I play things right, we'll just lose decorum. Which, again, is easy enough to get back up. There'll be a few things. Right, send to mid-deck. Go to the pantry. We can't grab anything out of there. That's right, we have to wait till later in the day. Ascend above deck. And as you see here, we're literally just crashing through the ice until we can't go no farther. But I do love how the ice cracks there. Because right now we're just sailing through normal ice, but every now and then a giant crack happens and it just looks nice. As you see, we've moved from here to here, completely surrounded by ice. And eventually the ice will get thick enough where the ship might just not be able to go forwards. Pet the dog. 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 Right now I'm spamming that. You know, there's this thing on the computer where you can use it if you don't have the mouse. Because I'm doing this without using the mouse. You can also click that really fast. Faster than the mouse, and it doesn't make as much noise. To do this. I use it in any game where I have to click a lot. It doesn't hurt my fingers as much, because it's on the same finger. Also, I don't use my pointer finger to click. I use that to move this. My thumb and my pointer finger. My thumb's for left and right, and pointer finger's for this, and then right pointer finger is that called the ring finger, right? Pretty sure. Yeah. Alright, take requests. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. Oh yeah, I remember now what's gonna happen here. Wait for Captain Hunt. The whole room shudders. Rush out. Examine the problem. What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at the ice. We could be trapped here for a while. Strong pressure. As if we didn't have another botanist. Well, no mucking around. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt that too. Sure, check the boiler room. I'm sure the mole man has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before you know it. Back to work. Lefty's still at the helm. He's the helmsman, apparently. Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's come to a stop. I almost flung my camera into a wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We're trapped in some ice. We need to break loose again. To get moving. Well, let's hope we can do this sooner rather than later. Trapped in ice, though. That'd make for a good photograph. We can go take one. As far as I know, the scientists have been startled by this. Sent to mid-deck. I think we can grab this now. Yes, we can. I want to get as many of these as possible before, well, the flooding begins. Ship stuck, then? If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. How? We didn't cross paths. Don't ask me. I'm gonna check with my brother. Let's grab some coal. We have a stack of briquettes. Bricks of coal. These two do not like each other as much. They don't really like me. They're not enemies. They're not friends. If I didn't make any errors, I'd tell ya. It's secured. Don't you worry. I'm sure you're aware of the situation. What's happening? I'm ensuring the boiler was not damaged in this sudden commotion. And I told ya, if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes out, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man. I'm just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the numbers of valves, it seems far too much for you to handle. Well, maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It'll hold. Trust me. I will. Well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Helmet eyes you up, a grimace on his face. First mate here, but who's the one who got us into the bloody mess? I was hoping that Templeton knew. As a former one of the Stokes, I had just missed him. I have a suspicion to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man could not simply disappear. If he's here, he must be in the cabin. When you find the man, give him an earful on my behalf. I can't do it myself. Too busy trying to keep us alive. Temple gives him a nod. I believe you and I both are a good captain of his Shaw. But you should call the crew for dinner first. Routine is important, especially now. Not before we feed the pirates. Make out some coal for the bunker, Shaw. Or are you afraid of getting your hands dirty like Mr. Templeton here? Okay, roll it, Captain. Feed the furnace. Which we can throw cans of tin food in here, but it's a really bad idea. As it only gives you +3, versus the stacks of coal gives you +20. And eventually be able to send people to take it from there, which we're going to do all scientists, as most of the time they don't really do anything. Emerge from deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner. Despite the ice, some still seem nervous. Others, as if nothing has changed at all. Crew needs fed for the week. There we go, 20, which brings us back up to 86. Love the sounds of the accordion, man. I've always loved accordions, though. That's not really important. Hunt's probably drunk. I don't remember. I think he is. Whatever it is. The crew had their meal. The dinner is shared. The crew returned to their posts, hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice it's still bright light outside. You didn't see him either. He didn't pass by, but his cabin door was locked when I checked. Slippery bastard. What are you thinking, Hunt? Can we go back and talk to, No, the Moorman's gone. Hammond. Let's sign a Hunt to take it. Mr. Templeton passed by, but wasn't exactly willing to take questions. Here are the crew out here, Kurt's advising them, I guess. Keep it up, lads. We'll set ourselves out right in no time. Ah, Shaw. Just let Templeton enter in the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt holed himself up inside. If you had a word of our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. He's there. I was informed that he was here. Or keep hidden himself. He has to be here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt his cowering beneath the table, Shaw. Ah. The captain laughs and rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you both. His head swings as he chuckles to himself. It was surprising you man to get hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join? Hunt shakes his hip flask and holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what have you, Shaw? I tempt you. Alright then. Hands you the flask. What shall we toast to? Adventuring, wherever this may lead. I'll drink to that. Don't humor this, Shaw. Liquid warms you, spreading to your fingertips. You hand the back of the flask. I think I did that last time, too. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this? This ship. Your ship is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect from me? Get the shuffles out? You could have heeded Kurt's warning. Kurt. He's still hanging on his words. He'd rather have luck relying on the old lout. He's a man chasing a spotlight, nothing more. There's no safe passage here. This is always gonna happen. Mr. Hunt. Captain Hunt. If you're not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw will stand in your stead, and we'll continue in the morning. Abandon me duty. No captain would do that. He is fit captain. Wouldn't you agree? Well, not you. Shaw, isn't that right? What do you think makes a good leader? Honestly, I'd say none of these do. Make a difficult choice, nobody else, yeah. Do you think you could live with yourself? Act like all the choice is the difficult part. The choice is easy, Shaw. Instinctual. It's not being able to sleep after. That's what they never prepare you for. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have time for. In a word, then, will make us a good leader? I would say none of these as well. Understanding. Understanding? Explain. The ability to adapt to your crew, to understand the individual needs to make up the whole. Under those needs conflict. All's well and good if you think you can bend and twist and please everybody. Think of balance that. Scoring a man one day, then appeasing the next. Do you think that balances out? Which is he more likely to remember? Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is more than a single rule you are told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You wasted enough time pinning philosophy. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real question. Shaw, look at where we are. Do you also think we're going to survive this? I have no assumptions on returning alive. Well, yeah, best form, wouldn't be just your life you're throwing away. Captain laughs. Shaw, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No. What one to incent your employer? A benefactor. We'll always be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you want fit to lead this expedition, you should not agree to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist and to keep eyeing me, our doctor. And then there's me. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the good doctor himself was sent here as a favor. I tried to toughen him up. His father had him sent here, his barber of Hunt. Although he appears to be a bad barber, as Hunt himself is bald. And myself? You're the one who should be here. Templeton opens his door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. It's alright, Robin. Go on now, Shaw. I'll be alright here. Captain appears to have fallen asleep. Man, there's a lot of talking there. I'm so tired. Captain Hunt needs to sleep. It appears the pressure of command has greatly affected him. You should find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear your head and we'll continue on in the morning. I wouldn't think Hunt would be taking action at a time like this. Instead, the man squanders himself within his office. An odd one. Yep, and if we look at the map, we're permanently stuck here. Well, not permanently, but for quite some time. And I'm pretty sure there's no way to free yourself from this ice either. Who knows? I know for certainly there is some things we can't do yet that we can do in the future. You wake to a room awash of green. There's a loud banging on your door and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Shaw, are you in there? Shaw. Are we sinking? Not if I can help it, we're not. The boiler is in serious trouble. Pumps need manned, and we need to stop the whole system from overheating. And I don't need to tell you if the furnace goes out, we go. Either way, we don't have a moment to spare. Alright, let's move. We need to find the captain. Now. I love how the whole room's awash with green. Costa rushes up, holding her camera tight as the ship rumbles. What's happening? Are we going under? Not if I can help it. Out of the way. Is it safe to go up top right? The Aurora. It's a shot I can't miss. Costa steps back before snapping a photograph of the ensuing chaos. Look at that! Completely surrounded in ice. It's a sight to behold. Then look at this beautiful green glow over here. The light of the aura flickers over the pale ice. The animals are barking ferociously at the green light that has evaded their territory. Calm, Stanberry. What has happened to the ship? Nothing I cannot fix. Don't fret. I shan't stop you, Mr. Hammond. You've seen the captain. I've been reassigned to this room, and I have to stay as such. As she wished to add a frightened kennel to your current problems. Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect there to be in a tub? Not important. Doesn't make sense. The man seems barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. Alright, Shaw. Captain's missing, you're in charge. Good to hear. Don't get a big head about it. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room. Now. I've already wasted enough time looking for that bastard Hunt. You storm down to the room, all you'll be doing is inciting a panic. You need to calm the fears of the crew. Maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down. Not at all, instead show them we know how to remedy this matter. You! Do you know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond? Aye. And we need to be quick, I don't have time to worry about some stupid seller's feelings. We got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. After Shaw's in charge, the decision's yours. Hammond's right, we can't wait and need some more time. The boiler won't wait for us. I agree with Hammond, I'm just like that in real life. I don't really care about people's feelings, I'm just gonna tell them the bloody truth, because at first I used to lie to people all the time, and everybody was like, Noah, we hate you for lying to us, you're an awful person. Then I stopped lying to everybody and told them the truth, and like, you're such an awful person, you should worry about more people's feelings. So like, what the bloody hell, you just told me not to lie to you, and now you want me to lie to you. As people are upset when I lie to them, upset when I tell them the truth. Hammond's right, we can't waste any more time. The boiler won't wait for us. Fine. I'll keep the crew at bay then. Moon, don't worry about him. Let's just go. Quickly now. Still a nice sight though. Yep. Continue to rush down. As more of the crew noticed you and Hammond descending below deck, the whispers began. Soon the crew is picking up pace, walking in directions with hurried footsteps. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it. I'll lend a hand. Not when you're walking off that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to. Go tell the crew they hit the Lord decks as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. You send the ladder. How do you see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold? Trying to get in. Same. Door's stuck. Pull harder. We need to get in there. You need to keep the furnace light. The metal door unsticks. Really looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? Just sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving. This is my favorite soundtrack in the entire game. You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineers team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineer loses grip of their valve. As steam begins to shoot forward, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid water hammer or we won't be making it off the ship. Shaw, the rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. You know I'm very strong in real life. Grab a valve and begin turning. Turning all you can to keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the ache in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. How is that doing that? I don't know. I'm not some sort of boiler engineer. I'm smart, but not that smart. The furniture rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. You keep turning, doing your best to keep the pressure at bay. We could be on this for hours. Shite. Where's the rest of the crew? Here they are. Brought help. Furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves. So we need 3 people to turn the valves. We need coal. So 3 people to turn the valves. 1, 2, 3, then 4. You can afford to assign lefty run style over here. Get more coal. Then throw it in this bloody infernal furnace. Tucker. You got the valve. Cavity. You got the valve. Enough hands working on the boiler if you can fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's gonna have to hold the furnace in place. I mean, 2 Johns, this is, I remember the first time I played, I got Gnomes to do it. He's the smallest of all the crew members, so let's get 2 Johns to do it. 2 Johns approaches the furnace. He's like 7 feet tall. The room shakes. Water hammer. The jet of steam paints John. It subsides as he raves in agony. You keep it to work, shifting out the valves until the boiler has fully calmed. The ship is safe. You won't be sinking today. As the crew give assurance to the wounded John, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear is a pair of panic voices. Where the hell is Captain Hunt? He's gone. Well, this is the first time we're going to keep it normal. As we're going to take a small decorum hit here of 20, and I don't want to go that low. As in these few days, there's going to be a lot of losing decorum. We're going to click start next week. We're not actually going to be doing this next week, because that's going to be the end of today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Rumble. I hope you all enjoyed 1 week of Temperance Camp. It's week 4.